And the ball is about to go in the air. We are underway from the Rest Center in Green Bay. Donovan Newby grabs the tip for Milwaukee. They have it first. Jordan Lathan gets it over to Newby on the left side. Kamari McGee comes out to check him. Milwaukee goes into their offense. They get it down low into Golston. Golston guarded by Manny Ansong, looking to work his way into the paint. Golston spins, moves. Ball goes off the back iron, no good. Offensive rebound comes out to Milwaukee, but then they turn it over. Pass intercepted by Lucas Stieber.
Nice job there by Stieber, anticipating that pass as he was falling out of bounds, tried to save it, but Stieber stepped in and picked it off.
Green Bay on their first offensive possession. Japana Kellogg back to Kamari McGee on top. Stieber works it over to Cade Meyer on the left wing. Vin Baker Jr. playing the defense on him. 10 on the shot clock for the Phoenix. Ansong going to fire a three and splash a three.
Good start for Manny. We see him get off to fast starts. That's usually a good sign for the Phoenix.
And it's something Green Bay has not done well this season, is hit the three. They started to hit a few more of them against Wright State last week. Milwaukee back on the offensive end. Newby gets it around to Golston. They swing the perimeter around to Lathan. Lathan, guarded by Lucas Stieber, fights his way through a screen, and Milwaukee turns it over again. Cade Meyer did a nice job saving that ball from going out of bounds and gets it into the hands of Lucas Stieber.
Tried to screen and roll, but the screener wasn't ready for the pass.
Stieber, who had the hot hand against Wright State, gives it up. Japana Kellogg trying to work down on the block. Kellogg kicks it out to Kamari McGee. He'll take it down low and get cut off at the baseline, and Green Bay will pull it out and reset. McGee, step back three. That draws nothing but air, and Green Bay is going to have to go quick with 4 on the shot clock. Ansong, crossover dribble, fires a three. Back iron, no good, and the rebound comes off to St. Pierre. Up ahead, Jordan Lathan, as Milwaukee wants to push the transition over to Newby on the left side. Entry pass goes down to St. Pierre. Cade Meyer with a forearm in his back trying to defend the block. St. Pierre spins to his right. Meyer able to cut him off. Milwaukee now with 12 on the shot clock with Golston standing out on the wing, guarded by Manny Ansong. Golston, floater in the lane, short of the mark, and rebound comes off to Cade Meyer for Green Bay.
Golston got off to a slow start on Saturday against Northern Kentucky. He's 0 for 2 here tonight.
Green Bay leads 3-0. 2 minutes and 20 seconds gone by in the first half. Japana Kellogg works it over to Ansong. Out on top to Kamari McGee. Now they swing the perimeter around to Lucas Stieber. Stieber, one dribble to the top of the circle, now feeds Ansong on the baseline. Ansong tries to drive baseline, spin move, and they call Ansong and wipe it off with the travel, and Green Bay will turn it over.
Yeah, good defense by Vin Baker Jr. He was able to cut off the baseline. Man, he couldn't get around him and then tried to spin into the lane, and Baker was right up on him, and it forced the travel.
Newby with the handoff pass to Jordan Lathan, moves over to DeAndre Golston. Golston hands it right back to Newby. As Milwaukee, again, looking to hunt the three, head fake. Now the pass down low, and they do. Vin Baker Jr. in the lane, puts it up over the top of Cade Meyer.
Yeah, he likes that area right there. He likes cutting without the ball and getting that little 5-6 footer. He can step out and shoot the three as well, but he likes that lane.
Al Stieber passed up a three, gave it up to Cade Meyer. I was looking to see, coming off of that 22-point effort against Wright State, and Stieber making 6 of his last 7 threes if he was going to look to pull the trigger early tonight. Ansong not afraid to pull the trigger again. That one rattles out, no good, and the rebound comes out to St. Pierre for Milwaukee. DeAndre Golston working off of the high screen. Gets it out to Lathan. Lathan takes it baseline up against Stieber. Missed the bunny. Japana Kellogg grabs the rebound for Green Bay. Nice job by Stieber jumping straight up. Now back to Kamari McGee, over to Cade Meyer. Green Bay, well, there's Stieber with a quick trigger three. Side of the rim, no good, and the rebound comes off to St. Pierre again.
Yeah, it's 3 for him already.
Now Milwaukee in transition with the miss. Offensive rebound, putback's no good. Ball still loose on the floor, and Japana Kellogg comes with it. St. Pierre missed on the putback. Bill, Green Bay's 1 of 5 from the floor. Every attempt has come from outside the arc.
Well, they're pretty big with St. Pierre at 6'10", Vin Baker Jr. 6'9". They've got some size.
Ansong kicks it out to Kamari McGee around to Cade Meyer. Straight on three. Got it. Cade Meyer hits the three, and Green Bay's got a 6-2 lead. Just about 4.5 gone by in the first half.
Good, quick, decisive shot there by Meyer.
Lathan around to Vin Baker Jr. on top. Wants to get it back to Golston. Manny Ansong playing the defense out on him. Ansong fighting his way through the screen. Golston, turn around, fade away from the free throw line is good.
That's a tough shot. Not much you can do against that. You know, overall size advantage to Milwaukee.
6-4 Green Bay on top of the Panthers. Just about 5 minutes gone by. Kamari McGee drives baseline. Ball gets. Kamari McGee will inbound for the Phoenix. Kick it outside to Manny Ansong. Ansong dropped down to Ryan Claflin, seeing his first action. Claflin had a solid weekend. Put up 10 points in the game against Wright State. And Kamari McGee dribbles just inside the arc, throws up the shot, no good. Rebound comes off to Josh Thomas for Milwaukee. Pat Baldwin Jr. on the floor now for the Panthers. Golston gets it around to Thomas. Baldwin Jr. over to Lathan. Trying to get PBJ against Ryan Claflin. And we've got a foul whistled down low against Claflin.
He was just backing him down, and they called the whistle. I don't know if tough to see from our vantage point.
Yeah,
if he gave him a shove or what. But
Coach Ryan's asking because normally they let that arm bar go in the back, so he was just asking if he moved it. Now the pass comes inside, turnaround jumper for Josh Thomas is good, and we're tied at 6.
Let's see if the Phoenix can try to get the ball closer to the basket here. They kind of clog in the lane here. They maybe draw St. Pierre out away from the paint and get in behind him.
Kamari McGee takes it to the elbow, gives it up to Japan Kellogg. Kellogg looking to go to work on St. Pierre. Kellogg spin move, left-hand hook comes up short. St. Pierre playing the defense on him. Rebound comes off to PBJ. He's guarded by Claflin again. PBJ into the paint. Almost turned it over, but St. Pierre got it. Kick out to Baldwin Jr. That shot's way wide of the mark. Catches nothing, and Kamari McGee grabs the rebound.
Is there a breeze in here? That one was way off. It must have got caught by the wind.
Now McGee out on that. The extra jerseys are here. And they use up just about all the other legal numbers. So you know they've got extra jerseys in case something like this happens. Randy Tucker, left side three. Too strong, no good. Rebound down to Japan Kellogg. Kellogg kicks it out to Kamari McGee. McGee looking to drive to the basket. He gets cut off, kicks it out to Stieber. Bounce pass now goes to Kellogg. McGee, who's driven the ball just like he is now into the paint a few times, gets some bigs. A couple of times has been cut off by St. Pierre. Stieber with 3 on the shot clock. Pulls up. That draws nothing, and it's going to be a shot clock violation on Green Bay.
Well, McGee has been able to get past his man out on the wing or up top, but then he gets himself down low and picks up his dribble, and he's got nowhere to go with it.
Lathan with the handoff pass to Golston. Kicks it back out to Lathan on the left wing. Kamari McGee playing the defense on him. St. Pierre sets the screen and roll and a dunk. That was too easy. That's just solid basketball right there. And Milwaukee takes their first lead 8-6. 12:51 remaining in the first half. Stieber for Green Bay between the circles. Goes over to the right side to Randy Tucker. Tucker one dribble, picks it up, gets it to Stieber. Around to Anson. They work the perimeter down to Kamari McGee. McGee dribbling between the rings. McGee now into the free throw line. Spin move, left hand flip, draws the contact, and Kamari McGee will go to the line to shoot a pair for Green Bay.
Well, that time he tried to finish. That's the first time he was able to get past his man again, but they didn't have low post help really, and he was able to try to split a couple of defenders. And who was it that they called?
Jordan Lathan.
Was it Lathan? Yeah, he just a tad late in trying to close that gap, and he picks up the foul.
So McGee, the true freshman, out of Racine. First free throw on the way and good. Has his scoring average on the season up over 9. And made a couple of key free throws to tie that game back up at 69 against Wright State last week before the game-winning 3. Now the referees are looking at something on the floor again. Looking to get a towel, I think.
Maybe something. Maybe they missed some. Claflin is back with a new jersey, but it's his jersey. He's got a fresh number 13.
Huh.
And I saw him change, so I know that's a new jersey. Meanwhile, for Milwaukee, Moses Bowl checks in, 7 foot 1 inch from South Sudan.
Phoenix have actually played against him before. He's a transfer from Central Florida.
Okay.
And a couple of years ago when Green Bay made the trip down to Central Florida to play, early in Moses Bowl's career.
Any relation to Manute?
I believe so. Thomas takes it in the lane, kicks it to the outside. 3 ball on the way for Milwaukee is good. DeAndre Golston. Golston's now got 5 for Milwaukee, and they lead by 3, 11-8. Just about 8 minutes gone by in half number 1. Stieber between the circles for Green Bay. Dribbles it over to the left side to Kamari McGee. McGee thought about pulling up. Instead, gives it over to Randy Tucker. Tucker looking to work off the Kirchimon screen. And we've got a foul.
They have to find a way to keep the ball moving and get some closer shots.
Kamari McGee gives the inbound off to Manny Ansong. Comes right back to McGee. McGee, 15-footer, got it.
Come off a screen, pull up jumper from 15. That's a good shot.
11-10, Milwaukee on top. Handoff pass goes to Josh Thomas. Thomas to Bowl out on top with the handoff to DeAndre Golston. Golston down the left side of the lane, puts on the brakes. Randy Tucker kept flying, and Golston pulled up, and he's got 7 of Milwaukee's 13 points.
Yeah, he's 3 of 5. He's off to a hot start here tonight.
Continuing where we left off last week against Northern Kentucky when he did all his damage back in the end of the game.
Yeah, in the second half, and I like his game. He's a really smooth player.
Ryan Claflin coming back in. You're right. He did change. There's no blood on that jersey. Substitution coming for Milwaukee as Tafari Sims checks in the game. And Golston will have a seat. Kamari McGee grabs the inbound for the Phoenix. McGee working off of the Kirchimon screen, gives it up to Claflin out on top. Around to Stieber, cross-court quick pass to Manny Ansong. Lost the handle on it initially. Now Ansong spinning towards the hoop. Had to put it up over Bowl and put it up too strong. Milwaukee comes out with the ball. Josh Thomas on the right wing to Donovan Newby. Newby over to Pat Baldwin Jr. Ryan Claflin getting right back in his shirt. Kamari McGee tips the pass, but it winds up in the hands of Josh Thomas. Thomas working on Stieber. Thomas takes it to the paint. Thomas missed. Thomas got his own rebound, though, put it back up and able to make it.
Determination there for Thomas.
That was a big story for Green Bay against Northern Kentucky last week, giving up the amount of offensive rebounds that they did. Did a much better job against Wright State. Manny Ansong on the right side for the Phoenix. Cross-court pass. Ryan Claflin, 3 ball. That one's short, and we've got a foul whistled against Milwaukee. Gonna get a push.
Yeah, Newby underneath got into the back of. Who was that?
Manny Ansong down low.
There, down low, trying to get the weak side board. Fortunately for the Phoenix, they keep it.
Kamari McGee inbounding, still looking for somewhere to get it, and referee Lewis Garrison not part of the squad, and Green Bay is going to turn it over.
I hate when you just can't make the inbound pass. He was looking to get it deep into the front court, maybe even in the back court, but Stieber was cutting toward the wing, and so he threw it to nobody.
Newby into the front court, handoff to Pat Baldwin Jr. back over to Newby. Looking to get the pick and roll down to Baldwin Jr. in the baseline, and now Milwaukee's going to throw it out of bounds. 2 teams trade turnovers. Not exactly the most crisp basketball game breaking out right now.
The 3rd turnover for Milwaukee. Green Bay has 2.
Neither team really able to capitalize on the turnovers. Kamari McGee into the front court to Stieber. Stieber guarded by Josh Thomas out on top, gives it up to McGee. McGee off of the Kirchimon screen, takes it down the lane. Kick out goes to Cade Meyer. Meyer into the lane. Meyer's going to get called for a travel. Made the jump stop and made the 1 extra step.
Both referees called it.
Right?
Guy down low and the guy on the side.
That was a pretty blatant one.
Right.
Pat Baldwin Jr. on top, guarded by Claflin. Ball goes over to Donovan Newby. Newby, and we're going to get an illegal screen. Moses Bowl going to pick up his 2nd, and that'll bring Joey St. Pierre back into the game. Well, last 4 possessions have resulted in 4 turnovers.
Yeah, we've got a little bit of a scoring drought here. Let's see if the Phoenix, all so far, not enough movement, I don't think, with the Phoenix. They're standing out on the perimeter. Whoever has the ball is the only guy moving on too many occasions here.
McGee calling out the play for Green Bay, takes it over to the left side, catches Stieber right back to McGee. Down to Kirchimon. Kirchimon looking to go on the baseline. He kicks it out on top to Stieber. Quick pass over to McGee. McGee on the left. McGee, crossover dribble. He takes it into the lane. McGee, pull up. Too strong, no good, and the rebound comes off to Donovan Newby. Newby leading the transition for Milwaukee. Lays a pass back to Golston. Golston working on McGee. Takes it in the lane. Step through. Shot is good. DeAndre Golston's having himself a half. 9 points.
That was Thomas, actually, with that one. 24.
Sorry, the 2 was blocked out from our broadcast perch.
Thomas with 6.
Lucas Stieber down on the block, kicks it out to Claflin. Claflin dribble over to his left, picks it back up. Handoff goes to Stieber. You're right, there's a lot of standing around right now for Green Bay. Tried to force a pass into Cade Meyer that wasn't there, and Milwaukee's out and running. And now we're going to get a foul out on top, whistled on Kamari McGee, and it'll be Milwaukee ball. Coach Will Ryan looking to find that spark somewhere.
First on McGee as he fouled Newby, who was trying to complete the transition with the bucket. I guess they're going to call it on the floor. I thought it was going to be a shooting foul, but they call it on the floor, so Milwaukee will take it out of bounds.
So inbounding underneath their own basket is Milwaukee. Donovan Newby triggers the inbound. Inbound comes in to Devin Hancock, who hands it back to Newby. Newby standing out at the GB at midcourt. Working off of a screen, trying to run that screen and roll to St. Pierre. Green Bay defends at that time. They work it over to Lathan. Lathan going to work on Claflin. Takes it up against Cade Meyer. Has a shot altered, but gets his own rebound. Kick out pass, and the 3 rattles in and out. No good for Donovan Newby. Japanik Kellogg there to clean up the miss.
See how they brought St. Pierre up to the high post and beyond it, opened up that lane for him. I'd like to see the Phoenix try to do that and get St. Pierre out of the lane.
Now bounce pass goes over to Cade Meyer off of the penetration from Kamari McGee. Randy Tucker jump stop, left hand down the lane, lays it up short, and the rebound comes off to St. Pierre. Run, and you'd like to see Green Bay start moving the ball a little bit quicker.
Yeah, run some offense. There's too much standing around and watching and one-on-one play.
Bounce pass goes down into Cade Meyer. Let's see if he goes to work on the block. Meyer step through, draws the contact, and he'll go to the line to shoot a pair.
Boy, I thought maybe, just maybe, they might call him for a hook there as he got the elbow. He tried to seal off the baseline from Vin Baker, but he got the benefit of the call and will go to the free throw line.
Cade Meyer, the freshman out of Monroe, averaging 5.5 points a game. First free throw on the way is good. He's got 4 in this one. Made one of Green Bay's 2 threes. Have the second one coming, looking to cut this down to a 5-point lead for the Panthers. On the floor for Green Bay, Claflin, Kellogg, Meyer, who made the second free throw, Randy Tucker, and Kamari McGee.
Phoenix 4 for 4 from the line here in the first half.
Ball swings over to Jordan Lathan. Lathan working off of the screen. They're going to get the illegal screen again. Joey St. Pierre picks up the foul on the illegal screen, and Coach Pat Baldwin Sr. from Milwaukee not happy on that one. He came out right away yelling at St. Pierre to stand still.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to call that. You start leaning. And McGee sold it pretty well, too, but, you know, they're going to call that 9 out of 10 times.
Now straight on 3 attempt. Ryan Claflin hits the back of the rim, no good. Rebound comes out to Randy Tucker for Green Bay. So the Phoenix pull down an offensive board. See if they can't capitalize on the second opportunity. Randy Tucker dribbling on the right wing over to Cade Meyer. Meyer looking to go baseline. Meyer has a shot blocked by St. Pierre, but there's Japanik Kellogg. Kellogg finishes with the left hand, and Green Bay on the third chance able to score.
Nice job there, sticking with it for Kellogg. He got the rebound off the block shot.
Now that's Jordan Lathan from the free throw line, found himself open, able to answer back.
They've hit 3 or 4 shots already from that spot right there, right around the free throw line, high post. Phoenix need to defend that better.
Cade Meyer, head fake on the 3 as the ball goes over to Randy Tucker on the left wing. Ryan Claflin over to Kamari McGee. McGee around to Kellogg. Green Bay swings the perimeter. Cade Meyer, guarded by Vin Baker Jr. Around to Randy Tucker. Tucker, he takes it to the elbow, kicks it out to McGee, who's got a wide open look at a 3. Short of the mark, no good, and the rebound comes off to Devin Hancock. McGee has really struggled in his freshman year here, connecting from distance. Vin Baker Jr., left side. Handoff pass goes to Hancock. He goes by Randy Tucker, draws a contact, and those will be the first free throws from Milwaukee coming up. Randy Tucker picking up the foul for the Phoenix.
Yeah, just the third team foul, but it was a shooting foul, so to the line they go.
Hancock, also a freshman, out of Dallas, Texas, 6'3". Has not made a free throw yet this season, Bill, till right now.
Now he has.
Manny Ansong checking back in. Randy Tucker will have a seat for Green Bay. Kamari McGee also coming out. Lucas Stieber back on the floor. Second free throw from Hancock off the back rim, and Japana Kellogg grabs the rebound. 6-point game. Milwaukee on top of Green Bay, 20-14. 5:45 remaining here in the first half. Kellogg gives it up to Claflin. Pass goes over to Manny Ansong. Now to Cade Meyer. Back to Ansong in the left wing. Japana Kellogg from the elbow kicks it out to Claflin over to Stieber. 8 on the shot clock for the Phoenix as Cade Meyer will pull up and shoot over Vin Baker. That one's way wide of the mark, and the rebound comes off to Devin Hancock. Again, Green Bay not able to get anything on the inside, and DeAndre Golston has it guarded by Cade Meyer. Cross-court pass goes all the way out to the top to Jordan Lathan. Lathan pulls it back to the middle, and he'll reset the offense for Milwaukee. Lathan guarded by Stieber on top, looking to get it down to St. Pierre. They do, and St. Pierre missed the bunny. Laid it up too hard, and Cade Meyer cleans up the mess for the Phoenix. Now in transition, Manny Ansong working his way down the baseline, kicks it out. Ryan Claflin for three.
Oh,
man, that hit every part, but the rim, and Japana Kellogg grabbed the offensive rebound, had the bunny miss, but draws the contact. How many shots have we seen?
I don't know how that first one didn't go down. I mean, that thing was in. And then Kellogg's nearly went down too.
In both teams tonight, though, Bill, how many times have you seen a miss at the basket?
Right.
So Kellogg will shoot a pair for the Phoenix. First free throw, spins off, no good. Kellogg, that's probably the most improved part of his game this year, is his free throw shooting. Now, when you say he's a 61% free throw shooter on the season, you go, it's not that great. But based on what he did last year,
right,
and the fact that he started out 0 of 9 this season from the free throw line, not bad. Well, he missed them both there.
Yeah, the Phoenix, as a team, top 60 in the nation in free throw shooting, but missed their first, or missed two there.
Ball deflected out of bounds off of a Phoenix defender. It'll stay with Milwaukee underneath their own basket. 4:38 remaining in the first. Milwaukee still up by 6, 20-14. Inbound pass gets lobbed up top to Tafari Sims. He hands off to Lathan. Comes out to Golston. Golston guarded by Manny Ansong. Golston looking to go to his right. Now draws a double team. Has to kick it outside to Lathan. 10 on the shot clock for Milwaukee. Lathan on top, guarded by Ansong. Pulling it back out. Lathan looking to create his own shot. Takes it in the lane. That shot's no good. Offensive rebound and putback, though, for Vin Baker Jr.
Yeah, that was just a hustle play by Baker as he crashed the board. I mean, you just got to go to the basket. We saw Kellogg do it here a couple minutes ago, get a putback. That time Baker did it for Milwaukee.
Kellogg kicks it over to Stieber. They work the perimeter around to Ansong. They're daring him to shoot that three, so he does. Pulls up. That's off the side of the rim, no good, and the rebound comes off to Pat Baldwin Jr.
It's already their 14th three attempt in this half.
Well, and that's going to irritate Coach Ryan in transition. One pass down to Tafari Sims, and Milwaukee, just like that, has a 10-point lead.
You know, 14 three attempts, they've only made two, so.
Now Ansong looking to do what he does, goes underneath, throws up the shot that's no good, and Pat Baldwin Jr. comes out with a rebound for Milwaukee. Baldwin Jr. cross-court pass goes over to Golston. Golston looking to work the perimeter, draws a double team, kicks it outside, three on the way, and no good. Lucas Stieber grabs the rebound for the Phoenix.
It's almost as if that three-point arc is an invisible fence. I mean, the Phoenix can't seem to penetrate that at all. Everything's out on the perimeter.
Now Japana Kellogg, his left-hand hook in the lane. That one's no good. Rebound comes off to Milwaukee once again.
And when they get it in the lane, they're forcing it. Pretty smooth three-point play, too, I might add. He missed the free throw, but pretty smooth bucket he made.
Stieber brings it to the front court for the Phoenix. Over to Japan at Kellogg. Kellogg around to Kamari McGee to Ryan Claflin on top. Cade Meyer to Kellogg. Again, Green Bay working the perimeter, looking to get something down inside. They had Cade Meyer flashing in the lane for a minute. 5 on the shot clock as McGee backs it out. McGee's going to have to create something, and McGee pulls up just inside the arc and hits. It's a first field goal for Green Bay in a little over 4 minutes of game action, and it's a 10-point lead, 26-16.
It's kind of a bailout jumper there. They still didn't get anything inside.
Golston around to Lathan, and the ball is stolen by Lucas Stieber. Stieber's got Pat Baldwin Jr. guarding him in transition, so he gives it up to Cade Meyer, who promptly travels with the basketball and turns it right back over.
Boy, Stieber driving, you know, he was out in front, and then he's looking at big Pat Baldwin Jr. in front of him. He said, yeah, let's back this out.
Right.
Problem is, and then he flipped it to his teammate who traveled.
So it'll be Milwaukee ball. 2 minutes left until halftime. 26-16. Milwaukee on top of Green Bay. Donovan Newby starts the offense for the Panthers. Handoff goes to PBJ, right back to Newby. PBJ working against Ryan Claflin, trying to get himself some inside position. Lob pass instead. Goes down low to Tafari Sims. Sims, spin, turn, jump, good. 28-16. Milwaukee's just been living down in the paint. That's their whole strategy today. Both ends, paint. Keep Green Bay out of it. Milwaukee wants to get into it. Kamari McGee down the lane, count it, and a foul. He took it right in between Pat Baldwin Jr. and Tafari Sims, and Pat Baldwin Jr. gets whistled for the foul, and Kamari McGee will go to the free throw line for Green Bay.
Well, McGee has been able to get past his man out on top or out on the perimeter, but he hadn't been able to do much until that possession once he got around the basket. But that was a nice job by splitting the defense, picking up the foul, and now going to the line.
McGee, who's got 8 of the 18 points for the Phoenix, finishes up the three-point play. 9-point lead, 28-19, minute and a half remaining here in the first half. Milwaukee back into the front court. Golston has it on top. Pass goes over to Donovan Newby. St. Pierre and Kellogg doing a lot of banging down in the paint. Thomas has it outside, guarded by Claflin. Claflin fighting his way through the St. Pierre screen. Goes out to Golston, who triggers the three. That goes off the side of the rim, and Randy Tucker tracks down the rebound for Green Bay.
Only one Panther there for the rebound. St. Pierre was too far into the basket. He couldn't get to the long board. The Phoenix grabbed it.
Stieber has it left side for the Phoenix. Japan to Kellogg out on top. Handoff goes to McGee. McGee to the free throw line. Back out to Stieber. Bounce pass goes down to Kellogg, who's working against St. Pierre. Left-hand hook for Kellogg is no good. Kellogg made a bunch of those. Lucas Stieber will handle the inbound for Green Bay. 36.2 remaining until halftime. 20 seconds on the shot clock for the Phoenix. Kamari McGee has it between the rings. They clear out the right side of the floor, and McGee, looking to penetrate into the paint, kicks it out to Randy Tucker, right back to McGee. 5 on the shot clock as McGee splits a couple of defenders, and Jordan Lathan on the floor for Milwaukee. Let's see what Coach Baldwin drew up. You know they're going to want to take it all the way down to the end. Jordan Lathan.
I would guess 22 will have it in his hands by the end of this possession.
PBJ has it on top, gives it to Golston, and we are going to get a foul up top, which you know that they're okay with right now because Green Bay still has 2 more to give. Now, with only 8 guys, you want to make sure the right guys are committing the foul. Stieber got whistled for that one. That's his first. I wouldn't be surprised to see Green Bay let a couple seconds run and do it again. Lathan has it, goes on top to Donovan Newby. The 3, banks out, no good, and a little bit. Jordan Lathan wasn't expecting the second half start. Milwaukee almost started the half with 4 guys on the floor. Lucas Stieber has it right wing for Green Bay. Works his way to the elbow. Lob pass goes to Japan to Kellogg. It was tipped too high. Kellogg now takes it to the paint. Jump stop for Kellogg. Turnaround right hand. Man, is that pretty for Japan to Kellogg.
Now he missed 2 jump hooks trying to get it over St. Pierre. That time he gave him a little head fake and a turn. He was able to get an open look.
Milwaukee looking to answer on the other end. Manny Ansong comes up with the swat of DeAndre Golston, and Milwaukee will have the ball underneath their own hoop. Green Bay looking to go on a haven't really had a run. You can't have a run when you don't make any baskets.
Right. But they're off to a good start here. They've cut the lead to 5 right out of the gates.
Well, there's a pile of humanity underneath, and the ball comes in to DeAndre Golston, and he draws the contact from Japana Kellogg, and he'll go to the line.
Ansong went down hard. St. Pierre went down hard. There was one other guy I didn't see who got up already. I think it might have been
And both coaches
Stieber.
are talking to referee Brian McNutt right now. Pat Baldwin Jr., Will Ryan both saying you've got like 3 guys laying on the floor that went down hard.
Right.
How's there nothing?
And they called something else.
Right. So Golston at the charity stripe. First free throw's up and good. Milwaukee now 2 of 4 from the free throw line in the game.
That's 8 for Golston.
30 seconds gone by here in half number 2. And Golston misses the second. Cade Meyer grabs the rebound for Green Bay. Outlet pass goes. Feeds Cade Meyer, who finds Lucas Stieber. Stieber for 3. Short of the mark. No good. Rebound off to DeAndre Golston. So Stieber, who had made 6 of his last 7 three-point attempts, is 0 for today as Newby takes a 3 on the other end. That's too long, and Stieber grabs the rebound for the Phoenix. Feeds Manny Ansong. Ansong looking to get downhill, kicks it back out to Stieber, makes the extra pass to Japana Kellogg. Kellogg standing near the left elbow. Now goes to work on St. Pierre. Kellogg into the lane. Has to kick it out to Stieber. Stieber down the lane. Right-hand scoop shot. That's good for Lucas Stieber. Talked about getting the ball moving a little more quickly. Now Milwaukee looking to get out in transition. Donovan Newby takes it down to the block, pulls it back out. Gives it over to Golston. Works the right side of the floor to Jordan Lathan. Lathan between the rings. Handoff pass goes to Newby. Newby walks it out to the B of the GB at midcourt. Newby working on Kamari McGee. Pull up, nice kiss off the glass for Donovan Newby.
It's too easy, though. He backed McGee down. He didn't get much resistance.
31-25, 6-point game. Milwaukee on top of Green Bay. Manny Ansong gives it to Japana Kellogg. Lucas Stieber on top. Out to Cade Meyer, around to Kamari McGee. McGee, he steps back. Rainbow 3 for Kamari McGee.
Yeah, that was a high arcing 3 for sure.
3-point game now, 31-28. 2 minutes, 15 seconds gone by in the second half. Golston, he'll step back and fire over the top of Kellogg. Back iron, no good, and Stieber does a nice job tipping the ball out to Japana Kellogg for the rebound. Green Bay in transition, trying to get the lob pass down to Cade Meyer. Jordan Lathan got his mid up there and blocked it. Now Lathan throws the lob, and that's how you do it. Vin Baker throws one down, and then Vin Baker gets teed for swinging on the rim. Referee Lewis Garrison saying he could have let go. Baker saying he was trying not to fall on top of Cade Meyer.
He swung underneath, and then he pulled himself up. That's why
Right.
they call it. He pulled himself up on the rim and then dropped down.
So that'll bring Josh.
I never liked that call in the first place, a technical foul for holding on to the rim. I never liked it. That was a little bit exaggerated. I know I can see why they called it, but
It's kind of like the taunting penalty in the NFL. You know, you style it like that.
That was a nice play. I mean, the backdoor alley-oop, man, that was sweet.
So Kamari McGee shooting the technical free throws for Green Bay. Now, that is the one thing in college hoops. They have different grades of technical fouls. That's the lesser of the technical fouls, so it's just a 1 free throw technical. 33-29, 4-point game. Manny Ansong goes by DeAndre Golston. Ansong at the hoop. Left hand strong for Ansong is good.
Yeah, a little bit more under control that time. Manny has had a couple of attempts tonight where he's got to the basket, but he has double pumped and put up some crazy shots. That was much better.
Now Kamari McGee intercepts the pass from Pat Baldwin Jr. down the lane. Layup good for Kamari McGee, and we are tied, Bill. Green Bay's erased the deficit and tied it at 33. Brand new ball game here at the the timeout for Milwaukee. DeAndre Golston will inbound for the Panthers coming out of the timeout. Donovan Newby into the front court, handoff to Golston. Over to Newby on the left wing, guarded by Kamari McGee. Here comes St. Pierre for the high screen. Newby off of the pick and roll, gets it over to Golston. Golston, baseline jumper, and he got tapped on the arm, and count it for Donovan Newby.
Boy, what a quick step fake Golston just did. He had the ball, and he just gave it a little bit of a head-shoulder nudge, sold it, then made his move to the left, got fouled, and still made the basket. Nice job.
Missed the free throw, though, so still a two-point game, 35-33.
He has 10, but he's just 1 of 3 now from the free throw line.
Stieber into the front court for the Phoenix. Stieber takes it to the right elbow, picks up the dribble. Gives it up to Ansong. Oh, Ansong tried to get the pass down to Cade Meyer. Meyer able to corral it, and they're going to get Pat Baldwin Jr. for a foul.
Boy, Baldwin Jr. had position on the low post. He got around, and the pass could have been to him. It just got through his hands, and unfortunately for him, he had to try to recover and picked up the foul, his second.
Lob pass comes in to Cade Meyer. Meyer, handoff goes to McGee. McGee over to Stieber. Cross-court pass to Ansong. Ansong looking to get by Golston. Ansong gets bumped, throws it up. He's going to go to the line to shoot a pair, and they're going to get DeAndre Golston.
That was a nice move by Manny. He tried to go baseline. It was cut off, and a quick crossover dribble got him a little bit of room, and then he got bumped while he was in the air. Didn't have much of a look at that one. He did kind of throw it up at the rim, but he goes to the line.
It's one thing that Ansong has gotten good at, or is good at, depending on how you want to look at it, is the first free throw short of the mark and no good, is drawing the contact. Some of those wild shots, when you don't get the whistle, look like really bad shots.
Right.
But I think he's anticipating that whistle when he feels the contact, so he's getting rid of the ball. Second free throw from Ansong is good. 1-point game, 35-34. Milwaukee back into the front court as Josh Thomas picks up his dribble. Ansong went for the steal, went to Golston. Ansong does a nice job recovering. Newby, left wing for the Panthers, working on Kamari McGee. Gets by McGee. Teardrop floater in the paint is good, and that's Pat Baldwin. Milwaukee now showing pressure in the full court, and Green Bay able to get it into Lucas Stieber. Stieber will bring it down the floor. Stieber takes it down the right side of the floor. Looking to back down his defender, kicks it out to Cade Meyer, works it over to Manny Ansong. And we've got an illegal screen by Cade Meyer. That's going to be a turnover on Green Bay.
It's the third one of those we've seen tonight. 2 against the Phoenix, 1 against Milwaukee. And after the Phoenix 12-5 start, Milwaukee on a little bit of a 4-1 run here to regain the lead. They lead by 3.
Cade Meyer will come out. Ryan Claflin checks in as Donovan Newby starts up the offense for Milwaukee. Newby has it left wing, guarded by Kamari McGee. Newby takes it to the paint, kicks it outside. 3 ball on the way from Thomas is no good. St. Pierre there to clean up the offensive glass. Well, they're going to call Ryan Claflin for the goaltend, but nice hustle play from Ryan Claflin.
Yeah, that was pretty obvious to me, I thought. It hit the glass first, and then it was blocked. Crowd doesn't like it, and Will doesn't like it, but that looked pretty obvious.
I agree with you. Stieber takes it down the left side for Green Bay. Claflin sets the screen. Now he steps out for the 3. Back iron, no good. And they're going to get they could have gotten Claflin for the tie-up, but hustle play from Claflin, and they got him on the arm. That'll be 2 fouls on Ryan Claflin.
Well, the miss came right back to where he was just about, and got into a little tie-up there for the rebound. Unfortunately, he got called for the reach.
39-34, Milwaukee up by 5. Going to the 15-minute mark remaining in the game. Josh Thomas has it, working against Lucas Stieber. Takes it to the paint, finishes over the top of Stieber. Back to a 7-point lead for Milwaukee. Green Bay had come back and tied it at 33 apiece. Milwaukee out an 8-1 run since then. Manny Ansong to the elbow, gives it around to Kamari McGee. McGee picks up his dribble, feeds Stieber. Stieber to the free throw line. Stieber Dribbled into a triple team and had the pass stolen away. It's another turnover on Green Bay. Golston for three, hit it. Just like that, it's a 10-point game on an 11-1 run for Milwaukee. Manny Ansong on the right side. Crowd was starting to get into this one. Milwaukee's done a nice job of taking the air right back out of the
Phoenix
right side.
haven't hit a basket since the last time out. They were 5 of 6. Now they're 5 of 8.
Ansong down near the left block. Spin move. Hook shot for Ansong.
Get in there.
Hung on the rim, no good, and we've got a foul whistle down low as Japana Kellogg was pushed out of the way. They get St. Pierre with the foul.
The only point for the Phoenix since that first time out at 16:47 was a free throw by Manny Ansong, and so they've gone cold here.
Stieber comes out. Cade Meyer checks into the game for Green Bay. Randy Tucker on the floor for the Phoenix as well. Well, now they've got too many. All right, Japana Kellogg is coming off. Moses Bowl trying to figure out where the official scorer is to check in. He goes to get St. Pierre. So Bowl comes in. On the floor for Green Bay, Randy Tucker, Manny Ansong, Kamari McGee, Ryan Claflin. It'll be Green Bay ball underneath their own hoop once we get all this sorted out. Ryan Claflin grabs the inbound. Gives it to Kamari McGee up top. He gives the bounce pass. Oh, they had a perfect give and go to Cade Meyer, and Meyer couldn't handle the pass, and Green Bay turns it over again.
Nice play. Cut down the lane. Good pass. Couldn't handle it.
It's a 10-point Panther lead as Donovan Newby gets it over to Golston. Golston guarded by Manny Ansong. One dribble, picks it up to Thomas. Thomas against Randy Tucker. Thomas makes a couple of stutter steps, turn around, fade away good for Thomas over the top. And Green Bay has not had an answer for that little 5-footer all day long.
Thomas now at 10. He's 5 of 7 from the floor, all pretty much in that same area.
Randy Tucker left side tries to get it to Cade Meyer, who wasn't looking for the ball. Green Bay turns it over again. It's a 13-1 run to put Milwaukee up by 12. Go right back to Thomas, and they're going to get Randy Tucker with the arm bar out on top. That'll be 5 fouls against Green Bay already here in the second half.
And with only 8 players dressed, that's bad news. So Stieber is going to check back in. And out comes Tucker.
And really, they've only played 7 today. Jem Kirchimon got in the game for about 3 minutes in the first half. He hasn't played here in the second at all. Donovan Newby over to Golston. Golston working on Manny Ansong. Gets Ansong leaning. Does a nice job drawing the contact. And Golston's going to go to the free throw line. Shoot a pair. So against Manny Ansong, it'll be his second.
That's 2, right? And now Golston with a chance to add to his 13-point total. He leads the Panthers in scoring. Just 1 of 3 from the free throw line.
Yeah, Milwaukee's just 2 of 6 from the stripe in the game.
They're about 71% as a team. And Golston missed the first, so he's shooting only 25%.
12-point game, 46-34. Second from Golston is pure. And Green Bay looking to come up with some sort of an answer. Kamari McGee, guarded by Newby, gives it up to Claflin over to Stieber. Stieber right back to Claflin. Claflin takes into the paint, gets cut off by Bowl, has to kick it back out to Stieber, and Green Bay will reset. Now Claflin and Stieber playing a little catch on the left side. Stieber directing traffic on where he wants people to go. Cade Meyer comes up to set the screen. Gave it to Claflin off of the head fake. Claflin had his shot blocked. 2 on the shot clock. Claflin off the side of the rim. No. Cade Meyer offensive rebound. He has the ball stripped, and it goes out of bounds, and it'll stay with Green Bay.
Right, that's a break there. But you know, Milwaukee hasn't. They've been playing man-to-man defense all night, and the Phoenix have not done anything to try to, you know, their screen game hasn't been very, very productive here in terms of getting guys rolling in the lane, things like that. There are ways to, you know, get guys open, dribble, penetrate, kick out. They haven't been able to get that going here.
Kamari McGee inbounding for the Phoenix, gets it into Stieber. Stieber looking to go down the baseline. Bounce pass out to Claflin. 3 ball, wide of the mark, no good. Manny Ansong offensive rebound. His putback's way too strong. Ball comes off to Milwaukee.
Another missed opportunity there.
Donovan Newby gets it into the front court. Tafari Sims has it top of the key for Milwaukee, and the ball's knocked out in the second half. They've missed their last 6.
Yeah. I mean, there was a 12-5 run to open the half, and then, as you mentioned, the 13-1 run now for Milwaukee.
Ball goes up top. Tafari Sims for 3 is no good. Japana Kellogg grabs the rebound, as well as the arm of Moses Bowl, who gets whistled for the foul. That'll be 3 on him.
Yeah, he didn't have a lot of minutes. He's got more fouls than anything else.
So Japana Kellogg will inbound. And Kamari McGee will walk it across the timeline. Over to Manny Ansong on the right. See what Green Bay does on the offensive end coming out of the timeout. There's Kamari. Over to Claflin, down to Ansong. They want to get that pass down into Japana Kellogg. Green Bay or Milwaukee doing a good job taking it away. Stieber takes it up against Bull. Kicks it to the outside to Ansong. With 4 on the shot clock, Ansong's got to go. He does. Runner up against the glass. Can't get it to go. Japana Kellogg comes in, flying for the offensive rebound. Oh, and they're going to get Stieber for the foul. Stieber and Jordan Lathan were going up against each other to try and get that ball that was coming out towards half court.
Yeah, that's tough. To me, that's a no call. I mean, it's
right.
kind of like, you know, they're both kind of going for it. There's no intent by any means.
I thought Stieber had inside position, too.
Yeah, it looked like it.
Lathan came barreling in, but Lathan's going to go to the free throw line. So Lathan, who's got 2 points in the game, pair of boards, pair of assists, makes the first free throw, earns the back end of the 1-and-1.
So they're now 5 of 10 from the free throw line. Nope, sorry, 4 of 9. If he makes this one, it'll be 5 of 10.
Lathan, a 72% free throw shooter. That missed the second. Rebound came off to Japana Kellogg. Kamari McGee starts up the offense for Green Bay. McGee over to Randy Tucker. Tucker dribbling along the perimeter, gets it back out to McGee. McGee gets cut off, trying to go down the baseline, and the ball gets tipped and goes off of Ryan Claflin out of bounds, and that'll be a turnover against Green Bay.
See, McGee, again, with the drive, but then picked up his dribble and created a tough situation for himself. Then had to throw backwards, and it was tipped and out of bounds. So another turnover, number 11 for the Phoenix.
The last basket that Green Bay scored was the Kamari McGee steal off of Pat Baldwin Jr., and now we've got a foul whistled against Lucas Stieber, and that'll be his third.
So now they're in the bonus. That sends Milwaukee to the line.
And referee Dan Dorian over kind of instructing to Stieber very demonstratively what he did. First free throw is good.
Well, he had one hand extended. He had the other hand on the back, I guess. He must have said he shoved him.
Not sure.
It's hard to tell from our vantage point, but that must have been it.
You look down, too, Bill. We were just talking before the foul was whistled. Kamari McGee made the last field goal for Green Bay. Free throw's good. And we're going to get a sub coming in for Milwaukee.
That was over 6 minutes ago, right?
Yeah.
6:07.
16:54 on the clock when Kamari McGee came up with the steal and the layup.
That was the one that tied it up, right?
Yeah, and they've scored 1 point since then. 1 point in the last 6 minutes. Ryan Claflin has it over to Stieber, and now we've got a foul whistled out on top.
Thomas.
It's the 5th on Milwaukee, 8 fouls whistled against Green Bay in the first 9.5 minutes. Been absolutely zero flow here in the second half. Kamari McGee has it on top for Green Bay. Pass goes down into Japan. Kellogg. He has the ball poked away, gets it back, kicks it out to Claflin. Randy Tucker has it with 10 on the shot clock. Tucker looking to get it to the free throw line. He feeds it to Claflin, guarded by Baker. To Japan Kellogg. Kellogg, wow, Japan Kellogg with a 15-footer. Why not?
It's not open.
Yeah, it's not usually his shot, but deep in the shot clock, he takes it and makes it. Green Bay trails by 14. Pass goes down to Josh Thomas. Thomas takes it to the paint. Jump stop. Has to pull it back out. And DeAndre Golston. Wow, there's a call you don't usually see in college basketball.
They did call it 3 seconds?
Yep.
Well, he didn't
I thought they were going to get the travel on Golston.
Okay.
But
well, I mean, he didn't really make an effort, Thomas, to get out of the lane. If you're going to just stand there, they're going to call it.
Right. So turnover against Milwaukee. Give it up to Stieber, to Claflin.
You know, it looks like they're playing man-to-man, but it looks like a zone almost because the Phoenix have nobody inside the arc.
Well, now Kamari McGee hits a step-back three. It's an 11-point game, 50-39. 20 points for McGee. In his short Green Bay career, that is a new career high. Previous one was 19 on the trip to Kansas City. Golston has it out on top, guarded by Stieber, gives a jab step, now pulls back, shoots a three, no good. Tafari Sims there for the offensive rebound. Sims going to work on Ryan Claflin, throws it hard off the glass, no good, and rebound comes down to Lucas Stieber. Let's see if Green Bay has one more little run in him. Up ahead to Japan Kellogg, who hammers it down with 2 hands. That'll get the crowd's attention and get him back into it a little bit.
It was a nice job by Kellogg to accept that pass. It wasn't a great pass, but he was able to reel it in, and then he had a wide-open lane to the basket.
9-point lead, 50-41, 8:45 remaining. Golston has it on top, working on Randy Tucker. The turnaround jumper's no good, and we've got an offensive rebound. Nice job by Ryan Claflin, though, to get Tafari Sims on his back, and they whistle Sims for the push in the back, and it'll be Green Bay ball. That'll bring Joey St. Pierre back into the game.
Who's he coming for? Baker. Vin Baker Jr. steps out. So here we go. Plenty of time left here. 8:39 and a 9-point deficit. The Phoenix need to get to work, though.
Stieber has it left wing for the Phoenix. Takes it to the free throw line. Bounce pass down to Kellogg. Kellogg left hand, no good. Rebound fought for underneath, and St. Pierre comes away with it.
You got to make those shots when you have a look at it. That was a nice pick and roll. He just didn't finish.
Coach Ryan wanted the foul there. I don't think there was anything there. Kellogg needed to be a little stronger down by the basket. Jordan Lathan has it on top. Bounce pass is almost poked away from Kamari McGee. And the ball goes out to DeAndre Golston in the corner. Golston leaves his feet, kicks a pass over to Thomas. 5 on the shot clock. Ryan Claflin pokes it away. Thomas has to force one up. Nothing there. Nice defensive stand by Green Bay.
Now you got to capitalize on it and get a basket.
Stieber dribbles it in the front court. Works off of a Kellogg screen. Over to Randy Tucker. 3 ball. Side of the rim, no good. And the rebound off to Jordan Lathan.
You know, part of making comebacks is getting stops. They've done that, but they haven't cashed them in at the other end offensively.
It was a wide open look for Randy Tucker, just not able to catch.
That was fun.
I believe they got 4 out of the 5.
They did. I think they got the last 4.
Lathan's free throws up and good. They do one at Wright State, 94 feet for a car, and it's a putt, golf putt, and it's got to go through, the second free throw is good. It's got to go through a hole just a little bit bigger than the golf ball.
Right.
94 feet away. Dude that hit it last weekend at Dayton wasn't even close. I don't even think it stayed on the floor. Kamari McGee to the front court for Green Bay. Green Bay looking to get something going here, down 11. 7:15 going remaining here in the half. Claflin has it on the left wing. Gives it up to Stieber. Stieber over to McGee. McGee looking to penetrate down the lane, draw some contact. Ball gets knocked out of bounds, and it's going to stay with Green Bay with 2 seconds left on the shot clock.
Well, got to hurry. So they're kind of back to doing what they did in the first half, unfortunately, and that's kind of everybody standing around the arc. So all 5 Milwaukee defenders are below the arc, and all 5 Green Bay offensive players are around. So even if somebody can penetrate, there's nobody there to dish to or help out or rebound or miss.
Manny Ansong back in. He's sitting in the straight line that Green Bay, out of this, usually tries to run something right at the basket for Ansong. Instead, they kick it out to Claflin for 3. That one's no good, and the rebound loose on the floor. Ball still on the floor, and comes out to Golston. Golston quick in transition, gets it ahead to Lathan, and now Lathan will slow it down for Milwaukee. Milwaukee up by 11. Lathan guarded by Japana Kellogg out on top. Brings it over to Tafari Sims. Donovan Newby has it left wing for the Panthers. Newby guarded by Ryan Claflin. 5 on the shot clock, and now Newby goes. Japana Kellogg switches, crossover dribble for Newby, takes it into the paint, and they're going to get the travel. Newby made it. They're going to wipe it off as Ryan Claflin and Japana Kellogg were both standing in there.
Well, he ran into the wall there and then caused him to travel.
Now, Green Bay hasn't been able to capitalize a whole lot on the Milwaukee turnovers. Let's see what they do here. Claflin over to Kamari McGee. McGee, pull up, 16-footer, side of the rim, no good, and the rebound comes off to Milwaukee. One and done. Panthers back into the front court, and it's Newby going right by McGee.
Wow.
Left-hand scoop is good. So after Green Bay got it back down into single digits, Milwaukee closing the door back on the Phoenix. Now Newby's going to get whistled for the foul, and Kamari McGee will go to the free throw line to shoot 1-on-1.
Were there 3 possessions in a row where Milwaukee either turned it over or missed a shot, and the Phoenix got the rebound, so essentially you got the stop you needed, and then they couldn't score at the other end. One of them was a nice pick and roll there to Kellogg, who missed an easy one. So they haven't been able to take advantage of the defense that they've played. And now it's back to 13.
Kamari McGee, 20 points. He's got just about half. Makes the free throw. Now he does have half. 21 of Green Bay's 42 points in this game.
Well, it's tough scoring tonight. Not a lot of points. You know, you haven't even combined for 100 points yet. We got 5:52 left.
Kind of like the old school Milwaukee Green Bay games, isn't it? McGee makes both free throws, back to 11. Green Bay's got to dig in, get another stop. Milwaukee taking the air out of the basketball now, not playing with nearly the pace they were. Ball goes over to Lathan. Lathan guarded by Lucas Stieber on the left wing. Now he pulls it back out. Resetting, directing traffic. St. Pierre coming up to set the pick. Lathan takes it back between the circles. Now Lathan working on Jem Kirchimon. Pull-up jumper from Lathan off the side of the rim. St. Pierre with a rebound on the putback. That's just a mismatch with St. Pierre against Lucas Stieber.
Yeah, he had inside position. That was an easy putback with the left hand.
Stieber will get physical with just about anybody, but that's a huge size advantage for St. Pierre down there. Now Stieber off of the pick, or sets the 3 and misses it. Rebound comes off to the Panthers.
Again, nobody there for the Phoenix to get a rebound. It was all black jerseys because everybody for the Phoenix was out around the perimeter.
DeAndre Golston standing out near midcourt. Bounce pass goes to Donovan Newby. Newby guarded by Kamari McGee. Newby down the right side of the lane. McGee strips the ball, goes off of the foot of Donovan Newby, and it'll be Green Bay basketball. So nice job of Kamari McGee getting his hand in there. Milwaukee showing full court pressure again.
Green Bay just 4 of 22 from three-point range. That's 18% if you're keeping track.
Now scrum for the basketball out on top. Green Bay gets it in the backcourt. That's Jem Kirchimon. Kirchimon looking to get rid of the ball. Handoff pass goes to Kamari McGee. McGee down the left side of the lane, no good. Now Milwaukee getting out and running. Bounce pass goes to Donovan Newby. A little wide of the mark, can't handle it. They're going to slow it down. Pull it back out, set the offense. Randy Tucker playing the defense on Donovan Newby as Milwaukee, kind of a spread offense here. Not really a 4 corners, but.
This is exactly what they did on Saturday, too, when they got the lead. They opened it up. You go sideline to sideline and then work it late in the shot clock.
Now St. Pierre over the top of Kirchimon with a right-hand hook.
Yeah, down to him a lot.
St. Pierre's got 8 in the game now. Kamari McGee dribbling around, kicks it out on top to Ansong, who feeds it over to Lucas Stieber. 3.5 remaining. Green Bay trails by 15. Kamari McGee down the lane, has the ball poked away, got his own rebound. Now to Manny Ansong. Ansong draws the Robert Morris, 64-60. The fourth game that was on the docket, Manny Ansong makes the first, was Detroit Mercy and Oakland, the Metro Series out in the Detroit area. That game canceled due to health and safety protocols. Ansong, 2 for 2 at the free throw line. 58-45, 3.5 remaining. Green Bay showing the full court pressure now. Inbound pass comes into Lathan, who gives it up to Josh Thomas. Back to Lathan, now the ball all the way ahead to Golston. Stieber almost poked it away, but Golston maintains control on the left side. Kamari McGee playing the defense out on him. 12 on the shot clock as Golston still dribbling out on the left. Again, Milwaukee spreading the floor. Green Bay comes with the double team. Ball goes down low. Still loose on the floor. Now comes out to Manny Ansong. Ansong out in transition. Takes it right up against Golston. And Golston gets whistled for the foul. So Ansong will go back to the free throw line. Says before the shot, so it'll be a 1-and-1.
Manny is 3 of 4 from the line. He has 8 points. Again, though, he made the first basket of the night was a 3. He's only made 1 since. That time, picked up the loose ball and tried to take it the length of the floor and got fouled.
Ansong makes the first. As mentioned, he's got 9. Yeah, Ansong struggling from the field tonight. 2 of 10 from the field for Manny Ansong. Second one's good as well. So Ansong is feeling. Now the inbound for Milwaukee comes into Donovan Newby. They get it ahead to Thomas. Thomas working in transition, and Coach Baldwin wants him to slow it down and run some offense again. Goes over to Golston on the right wing. Randy Tucker playing the defense on him. Now Manny Ansong comes up to pick him up off of the screen. Goes out to Thomas. Now Golston goes by Manny Ansong, and all Manny can do is grab him. Check that. Thomas went by him, and Thomas will go to the free throw line. Oh, it was Golston.
You having trouble seeing the 2 tonight?
I am. Yeah.
24 and 4. Boy, Golston's struggling from the line. He missed that one. He's got 15 points, their leading scorer, but just
he's 79% from the line coming into the game tonight.
Now, just 50% tonight, and he does make that one. And now they bring St. Pierre back in.
So Milwaukee back up by 12, 59-47, 2:25 remaining. McGee into the front court, takes it over to the left side. Looking to get it to Randy Tucker, but he's well guarded. Now down to Japana Kellogg. Kellogg working against St. Pierre. Kellogg tried to get the spin move, wasn't there, turns it over. Josh Thomas picks it off. They're out in transition. Up ahead to Lathan, right back to Thomas with the alley-oop.
Nicely done. Thomas had it. And as soon as he passed it to Lathan, he pointed up again, get it back to me in the air, and he did, and he slammed it home.
14-point lead for the Panthers. McGee picks up his dribble. Lucas Stieber has it out on top around to Manny Ansong. Ball gets poked away, and Green Bay turns it over again.
It's turnover number 13.
Here's what I'd like to see before the end of the game. One more Japana Kellogg basket, Bill. I'd give him a double-double on the night.
Okay.
There's a positive thought in Japana's head going into the game against Oakland coming up on Friday. Lathan has it. Whistles blow. He's going to go to the line, shoot a pair as Lucas Stieber picks up the foul. And again, anytime you're talking about the games in the future with the way sports has been the last couple of weeks in the foreseeable future, I've always got to kind of mention this is where Green Bay is scheduled to go. Who's next on the schedule?
Oh, right.
Right?
Right.
First game is, their first shot is up and good for Lathan. Phoenix women have run into issues. They've had a couple games in a row canceled.
Yeah, they have had a tough time.
And not within their program. It's been the programs they're supposed to play.
Exactly.
16-point lead now, largest of the night for Milwaukee with 1:25 remaining. So the Panthers going to most likely close this one out. Back-to-back conference wins for Milwaukee after the impressive win over Northern Kentucky. Kamari McGee just inside the arc. He's no good, and the rebound comes off to Milwaukee again.
McGee has 22 to lead the Phoenix, but 6 of 15 from the floor. He has made all 8 of his free throw attempts.
We go under a minute. Jordan Lathan has it out near midcourt for Milwaukee. We'll see Pat Baldwin Jr. not coming back into the game for the Panthers since he went down. Lathan lets fire the shot, no good. And Baldwin Jr. not coming back in. Kamari McGee out in transition. See what the injury was. There's Japan Kellogg turnaround. There it is. Kellogg's got 10 points. That's a double-double for Kellogg tonight. 10 points, 11 rebounds for Japana.
Finally got that little left-hander to go.
He's got a pair of assists to go with it, too. 63-49. About a second and a half difference between the game clock and the shot clock. Milwaukee can stand out there and dribble as long as they want to.
And that's exactly what they're going to do, it looks like.
You know, this is one where Green Bay had been playing so well on both sides of the ball as Lathan misses. Rebound comes off to Claflin, and they were so close.